Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's segment of Midweek Musings. Today I'm thinking about creation care. I've been thinking a lot and musing about creation, and in Genesis 1 and 2 we read the following verses. God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." And then these words. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. The thing that strikes me about this is that Adam and Eve were called to understand creation and to be stewards of it. God creates, and as part of the creation that is made in his own image, Adam and Eve are to take care of it. In fact, God commands Adam and Eve to increase in number and fill the earth. I think this means that as descendants of Adam and Eve, we too are called to steward creation. I wonder if this command to fill the earth means we need as many brains and hands and feet as possible to properly understand and care for all of creation. Now, before I go on, I want to make clear that I believe that every good and perfect gift comes from God, our Creator. He is the source of all that is good and right and gives life in this world. He is not, and I'll say it again, he is not responsible for the evil and things that are unjust that bring death in this world. God works things according to his will despite evil. He does not cause evil, but he works good out in evil as only he can do. Which brings me to COVID-19. This kind of half a living creature, it possesses the genetic material of RNA but no DNA, is wreaking havoc among humans physically, emotionally, spiritually, and economically. It is taking researchers, doctors, nurses, even engineers across the world to understand this virus and to retool equipment so that the medical staff have the tools necessary to combat the deadly effects of this virus. But here's what I also see. And it's a different part of creation that we don't think of as creation. There are musicians and singers serenading others online and also on their patios and balconies to encourage one another, to remind people that they are not alone, and to show solidarity for those who are facing the direct dangers and fighting this virus on the front lines. Some are even raising funds to help those most broken from the ways this virus has hurt people. Music, in kind of a not official definition, is organized sound. This is part of creation, and artists and musicians are those called to steward this part of God's creation. Some other areas. Social workers and psychologists seek to understand the human mind and human nature and steward us in the struggle against fear and anxiety. We also have those people who are called to steward us spiritually, our pastors, to point us to the hope that is ultimately found in Jesus Christ alone. I could go on, but do you see my point? God called Adam and Eve to fill the earth. So there are many humans working together with all of our different gifts and resources to understand and steward all of creation. There's much of creation we do not understand, but we learn a bit more when those made in God's image work together to care for it. Finally, there's a part of me that wonders if God isn't telling all of creation to take a Sabbath rest. Slow down. Humans are home, either out of work or producing less. The frenetic pace of life has slowed down dramatically. Waterways are cleaning up around the world as life slows down. And there's less human activity to stir up the waters and less manufacturing to pollute them. We've also seen the levels of air pollution drop dramatically in places like China and northern Italy as traffic and manufacturing has stopped. I anticipate seeing the same things in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and a bunch of other places where there are high numbers of COVID patients and states are in lockdown and there's not much activity. I think air pollution will probably go down for that time there as well. I can't help but think that God is forcing us to slow down, to breathe, and to remember who is the source and creator and restorer of all of life. And then to remember that we are called to steward the creation to the glory and honor of God. May we have eyes to see and ears to hear how we can best do that together, using all of our gifts and resources. That's it for this week. Until next time, I look forward to being with you. Thanks.